Hello, welcome back to Ginny's. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to make mini cookie pies. That's it. I get so confused. If you've seen already on my channel, I have a large deep dish cookie pie and you seem to have really liked it, so I thought let's change this up a little bit and make mini ones so they can go in those little treat boxes that you do, or you can just feed them bite-sized with the family. I say bite-sized, but you know, maybe they're my bite-size. So I'm going to make these for you. I'm going to do two different batches here. I'm going to do one that is just chocolate chip and I'm going to do one that's chocolate, double chocolate chip. So I'm going to show that it's so easy. I'm going to do it in two different ways. We're going to do them together and put them into the oven at the same time together as well. If you click this little V here, that will drop down and there you'll see all of my ingredients and you can screenshot them and do as you wish with them. So I am going to put a little Christmassy twist in one of them as well with the filling, so that if you wanted to, that's what you can do. You can have Christmassy ones too. So let's get started. Now for the chocolate chip and the double chocolate chip, the ingredients are pretty similar apart from a slight variation in the flour on one, because obviously there's cocoa powder in one and not in the other, so I had to compensate. So let's begin. Right, let's start with the white chocolate. So this will be the double chocolate chip. So I'm going to begin with this one. Now a lot of you have asked before what chocolate I use. I use the Calibute. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyway, that's what I use and I love it. It comes as the chocolate chips like this. This is the one I buy. So then it's versatile. I can melt it down if I want to, or if I don't want to melt it down, I can just use it as chocolate chips. So great. Right, to begin, I'm putting in my melted butter and put that straight in. I need it melted to begin with because I need to make sure that I can get this kind of liquid to be able to play about with it. So then, where am I? In with my sugars, and I've got dark sugar and caster sugar there, and we're going to just pop those in. Then we are going to put the dry ingredients in, which is bicarb, baking powder, corn flour, and cocoa powder. And then the chocolate chips. We're not going to mix this too much at all. And a teaspoon of vanilla. And we need one egg, which I haven't got, so I'm going to grab it now. And we're just going to add in one egg there as well. So we're going to mix all this up. While that's mixing, I'm just going to wash my hands quickly. Sorry about that. So this is a really, really dry mix. That's why we have melted it, the butter, because otherwise we wouldn't go anywhere with this. Now I want it to be a dry mix, so don't worry about that. Right, so that is spinning around. It might sound like my mix is having a slight issue, probably is, it really hates me at this point. But so long as I can just get it mixed up so that it looks a little bit like sand, that's all I'm looking for, which is exactly what I'm looking like right now. So I'm going to show this to you, because if I don't, you'll look at this and think I've gone mad. So let's get rid of that. Here. So this is our mix. So it's just like sand, but when you pick it up and squeeze it, it comes together. So that's what we want. That's that butter in there doing that. So I'm happy enough with that. We're just going to pop this behind. And then I'm going to show you how to make the other one, and using no mixer, because you really don't need a mixer for this. So the same again. Butter, sugar. Oh, if I can get all the butter in. I am just going to give this a really quick mix around if I'm doing it by hand, so that I've got a little bit of the liquid there. Then I'm going to put the egg into it. So it's slightly different if you're doing it by hand. Right, we don't want to mix that egg too much. In with, this is the same ingredients as the last one, a slight increase in the flour as you'll see in the ingredients, and no cocoa powder. So we need to mix this in the best that we can, and it is dry. So you may end up having to use your hands Let's pop in the vanilla, because again, it's a little bit more liquid, which is great. And there we are. Right, so now we just need to mix this all up. If you feel it's taken too long, just go in with your hand and essentially squeeze it all together. But this one is slightly wetter than the other one because we haven't got the cocoa powder, but the flour is a little bit more increased. So once we've got both of these together, what I need to do now is clean up, bring my tray forward, because this is so simple, and I'm going to show you how to assemble it all together and have a little chat about what you can put in the middle. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so what we're going to use for this is a muffin pan. So I got the straight edge one, so this goes straight through instead of it coming like this, like a regular muffin pan does. You can use the regular ones, but I really like this long, elongated effect that you get from this. So that's what I've used. So you're probably wondering how you're going to get this out. So what I've done is I have used a cookie cutter just to cut out some round circles, and then I've got some release spray, which I am just spraying over the top of this. Now if you haven't got release spray, use butter and flour, but make sure once you go around the outside with the butter, you do put the flour over the top, because otherwise that butter is going to reach temperature. Butter burns really easily and it's going to burn the outside of your cookie, whereas the flour will prevent that from happening. Right, so as you can see, they're all in there. Let's begin. So we're going to start with the really dry one, because it's just harder and make your life a lot more difficult. So set my scales to 0, and for each one of these you want 65 grams. So that's 60. This is going to get messy because it's such a dry mix. Right, that's 64. If you go 64 or 66, it's not a problem, but don't go anything different than that. Then take it, push it all together in a ball, roll, and drop it in. Exactly the same with the other one as well. So if I just, this is an easier mixture, it's not quite so dry. If I move that out the way, so that's 65 there. Again, all the way around, and pop that into there. So this is what they look like so far. So I'm going to go on and fill all the rest of those up. Right, so these are all completely full. So then take your hand and just push across the top, just because you want them to flatten out just a little bit. Flatten all of them out. There we go. Right, now I've got a large rolling pin. So if you just take a large rolling pin, it's a bit dry around any really dry around the outside, let's just push them back in. Right, and then I'm putting my rolling pin over the top and then pushing down. Now I'm not the strongest person in the world, so right, I'm making a pocket. Now my pocket here isn't exactly in the centre, but not to worry. Okay, so again, try and get it as central as you can. That's a better judgment. And push down. Now you don't want to hit the bottom, but you want to make sure that there is enough in there, okay? If you're unhappy with one of them, just take it out and redo it, it's not a problem. So just turn the other side and we'll do this one, and this one is going to be a lot easier because it's wetter. So there we go. Now obviously be careful it doesn't all stick and come up. Right, so I'm going to go on and finish those and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so we've still got quite a bit in here, but we need to make lids. But if you have any issues on the inside and real cracks, this one is perfect, but this one down here seems to have quite a few cracks in it, and I don't want the filling to leak out. So just pop some in and then just build that back out, okay? So all I'm doing is like plasticine, just pushing that along so that it's a lot easier. Okay, there we go, that's perfect. So just do that the whole way around. If you've got any issues, try not to use the bits with the chocolate chips, because that's just going to be a waste of your time. It's a little bit like pastry. You know, if you've got a crack on a bit of pastry, you just go in and fill it. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Okay, now we're going to fill them. So you can use whatever you like to fill these. You can use regular ganache, you can use white chocolate ganache. There are so many different things. Biscoff, Kinder. What I have done here is I've got some water ganache that I made, and I have filled it with Christmas cake mix. So you know you get the bags of pre-made Christmas cakes. They've got all of the dried fruits and that little bit of a flavour of Christmas. That's exactly what I've used for inside of here. So I will put the recipe there for the ganache and how to do the water ganache. But with the water ganache, you just put the water over the top, pop it into the microwave. Water in the microwave comes really, really quickly, more than it did the cream, so please be careful that you don't go overboard and burn your chocolate. But I love water ganache, it makes life so much easier. Right, so you can see those there, and now I'm going to come in with caramel. Right, but I'm also going to put some marshmallows in, because why not? So I'm going to fill the bottom bit there with some marshmallows. So you can leave this, I've just given you ideas of what you can do. So I've got mini marshmallows. We don't want to put too much in because we don't want them to overflow. And then I'm going to put salted caramel over the top. Now you can use, I've got a salted caramel on my channel, which obviously I've made, but you can just buy it in the shop. This doesn't have to be that difficult. Right, so here's my caramel. Spoon. Okay, and then we're just going to spoon that over the top of the marshmallows. Try and not to hit the sides too much because otherwise it is going to leak out. Okay, so now we need to put the lids on. So I'm just going to, we want to seal the lid, so I'm just going to go round and just put a little bit of water just around the tops here, just so that when I do put the lid on it gives it something to bind to. So if you go around and you do all of those, so I will just show you how to do this. So each bottom was 65 grams, now each lid is 27 grams. Turn on my scales. Right, and then you need 27. Take it off like you did before, into a ball, plop it into the middle of your hand, and then with the heel here, push down, spin it round and push, trying to get it the same all the way around. And there you have your lid. And then if you just take that little bit of water, just pop it around the outside parts of this one. The two are going to bind together. Pop it on the top and just push it down, and those there will bind in together, which will give you that lovely cookie cup. And there we go. So we're going to do that with all of them and then come back. Okay, so I'm done. See? I'm so glad that wasn't live. You should have seen the mess I just created. Right, if you've got some seepage around the outside, just with the water on your finger, just move it away. And then if you've got any mixture left, because I've pretty much done it to be exact, so when you're filling the inside, don't go using too much because you won't have enough. But if you've got any left, then you can just take some out and pack it in around the outsides. And then that should stop any other seepage. These are normally fine. I'm also going to say, don't do as I just did. Put the marshmallow on top of the caramel, because then the caramel won't be on top to seep out. So if mine seeps everywhere, it's my fault for being so stupid and doing it back to front. When I tested this out, we did it properly, and I don't know why I just did that. So that's why I've got seepage. So if you do it right and put the caramel first and then the marshmallow, you won't have my issue. But at least you can see how to fix it if you do. Right, so these are going to go into a preheated oven. My oven is on 170 on a fan assisted, and that is 190 on a regular oven. They're going to sit in the middle of the oven for between 20 and 22 minutes. Obviously your oven depending. So I will show you. If you do get some leakage, then I just use a pastry brush or a brush just to wipe it away afterwards, so that we'll get them out a little bit easier. But if I get any, which I probably will because I did this so stupidly, I'll show you. So I will see you when these come out of the oven. So I'll see you soon. Okay, my timer just went off, so let's get these out. Right. Now, as expected, I have spillage. So let me grab my brush. Okay, so I've got my tea towel and a brush, and I'm just gonna come in and just pick bits up off of here, and that's gonna stop it from sticking. So you're probably better off using a bit of kitchen roll for this, other than my tea towel. No, it is clean. Right, and then you just mop it up a bit. And that's gonna stop it sticking then. But yours won't have leaked like this because you would have put the marshmallows on the top, not on the bottom. They didn't leak as much as I thought. I'm actually quite pleased. Right, so here they are. There we go. They look gorgeous. We can do nothing with these at the moment. If I try to take one of these out, the whole thing's just going to break. We have got to just let these chill and come right down into temperature. So even though the tray might end up being cool, this underneath must be cool. So that's it. We can do absolutely nothing. It's going to take, I think, about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I will come back to you. Right, they're cool. So I put my hand underneath, that's cool. So we have to get these out. Now, don't panic when you have to get these out. If you've had a lot of spillage, you might have a little bit of an issue, so get a knife and just come in underneath and just lift it. But otherwise, take the top and twist twist backwards and forwards and lift. Look at that. Take your little bit off the bottom and pop it down. Same again. Ooh, take it off and pop it down. Let's try one of these. Ah, it did it. Right. And there we go. Oh, let's move that. Right, make sure you take your little discs off. There we go. And here we go. Look at these. I'm not going to make you watch me do all of them. So, right, we need to cut some of these open now. So I don't want that. I'm going to find, there we go. This is a caramel one. Right, so we're going to cut these open now so you can see. So this is the Christmas one. There you go, look at that oozingness in there. That looks so good. So we'll move those there. And then this is the caramel. This one's a little bit crispier. So there, and that is oozing out. And we've got the caramel and the marshmallow in there. So this is how you make cookie cups filled with whatever you want. Ganache, white chocolate ganache, like I said, Biscoff, Nutella. You can put anything inside of these. Put little treats in there as well. You can pop little bits of chocolate in. It'd be absolutely lovely. So I hope you've really enjoyed this. Have a little play and let me know what you think. So I will see you really soon. Enjoy.